Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to talk about how we can deploy some sort of automation tools. Like we have got workflow rules, we have got process builders, and we have got flow builders. So in our previous videos, we have talked about how we can deploy very basic configuration like custom object fields and profiles, not profiles, permissions. So let's quickly see how we can do this, how we can deploy all these. Before we go ahead, we have got some scenarios for workflow rules. There are two scenarios which I already have implemented, and there is one scenario for our process builder. And the flow builder is very simple flow builder, which I'm going to show you. So for this workflow rule, there is one scenario. Whenever an account is created into the system, you need to send an email to account owner and a specific. Okay. And then there is another scenario which is saying that whenever a new opportunity is created, then we need to update the related account annual revenue fee. So what should be the value for annual revenue? It should be annual revenue, whatever the annual revenue is already there plus amount of our opportunity. So suppose that if we already have annual revenue plus like 100 and then we have got amount as a 10, then the value on the account record will be 110. That's what we need to do using the second scenario of our workflow rule. Then for the process builder, what we have is create a new picklist field status on account, and this is going to have the value of the status value of our invoice like draft, cancel, sent, and then whenever the status is changes of the account record, you need to update the all related invoice. This is again a very simple scenario, but I just wanted to show you how to migrate all these things from one org to another Salesforce. So this is my Salesforce environment. This is the Salesforce sandbox environment. Please go ahead and log in if you are not logged in. And then first thing that we need to talk about is let's quickly add the field into the account object, which is status. I have already created. I'm going to show you what is there. I'll go to this accounts from the quick search box and find these fields under accounts. List of all the fields which are already there for the account object under the account custom fields and relationships. You will be seeing that there is a custom field which I have created, which is status, and it has two values, sent and cancelled. If you wanted to add more, you can just go ahead and add those values as well. There might be some other value like you can add a case status kind of a new field and then try to add whatever the values are there on the case status field, and when that new field is changed, you can try to update the status of your case records. You can use any scenario just to deploy the process. And then let's quickly first talk about the workflow rules, and then we'll talk about the other things like process builder and lightning flow builder. So for the workflow rule, just go quickly to the workflow rule. You might see this screen, just click on continue, and we will be seeing the list of all the workflow rules. I already have two workflow rules we already have talked about. One is saying that send email to account owner. One is saying that update account annual revenue. So for this updating the account annual revenue, there is a criteria which I have done. The criteria is saying that account name should not be null, opportunity amount should also not be null, and account annual revenue should also not be null. If these are the three cases which we have got, which are satisfying, and the opportunity is created, then what we need to do is we need to update the field which is annual revenue on the account, because this is already there in dev sandbox. So you can see here we have got dot annual revenue and then we have got amount. So what I did is I selected which object I wanted to update is account object. The field is annual revenue, and then whatever the field, whatever the formula we wanted to have. You can also have a blank value, anything you can put. And even if these are not there in the sandbox, the new sandbox, because there might be possibility the credentials of this sandbox get expired and I have to spin up a new sandbox. So you can just go ahead and create a very simple workflow rule that is very easy to create and then just in order to deploy. Because I am mainly focusing on the deployment part. I'm not going to show you how you can just go ahead and create all these because that is a completely different. So this is about the first workflow rule. And this is the second workflow rule where we have got send email to account owner. Where I'm saying account name shouldn't be null and annual revenue is greater than 10,000. These are the two scenario where I am just considering. Account is created. Let me show you over here. Account is created. Account name is not null and annual revenue is greater than 10,000. If that is the case, what we need to do is we need to send an email alert. So let's quickly see here. So if you wanted to add new action, you can just go ahead and click on this. Add whatever the action you want. I already have this. I'm going to show you this. This is that I need to send an email alert to account owner, whoever is the owner, and there is one specific user who is Amit. Then if you click on this drop down, you will be able to see all the options and you can select any option that you want. For this, I have also created an email template. You can see there is account created email template which I have created. So I'm going to basically apply that email template as well. So now let's quickly create the change set and we just need to follow the same process. It is an outbound change set. One change set without any component. I haven't added any change set over. Now to add change set, we need to make sure that we are going to add each and every component. The first component is custom field that we have created on account object. From the drop down, we'll find custom field, and this custom field which we need to apply, which is status on account object. You can see status on account object. Just go ahead and deploy. Okay. There is one thing that we need to add. What is that? That is a workflow rule. So let's really add here. There are two workflow rules basically. So we'll say that workflow rule, and once you select workflow rule, you will say all the workflow rule over here. You just need to select both the workflow rules that you have created. If you have only one, you can select only one. Add to change it. Now, if you have seen that these are the workflow rules, we have to add the workflow actions as well. What kind of action we have? One is workflow rule field update, to update the related account. One we have to send the email, that is workflow rule email alert. So we have to add both the actions. So I'll just go to click on add, and under here we need to select, like for the first time we'll select workflow rule. You can see email alert is there. We'll select, we got account is created. Okay, just go ahead and add it. Then we have got one more action which is workflow rule field update. So we need to add that as well. Because in case of workflow rule, if we add only workflow rule, it doesn't add its related action. We need to add the action. Say that workflow rule field update. So we are going to add here and it is going to be new update or whatever the annual revenue. So far so good. We have added the email template, workflow rule, field update, email alerts. We haven't added the email template. We also need to add the email template. So we'll just click on add. And for adding, what we'll do is we'll just go ahead from the email alert here. Open this automation over here and we'll see if this time email template, yeah, it is added. You can see email template is added. So we don't need to worry about that. And got stuck in some sort of problem, what you need to do is just go ahead into the extension and then disable it, and then afterward you can enable it. The extension that we have installed called Genset Helper. So this is what we have got so far. We haven't added the process builder. We haven't talked about what process builder is doing, and we haven't added the flow builder. Okay. So let's see what we have for process builder. So we will say process builder here from the quick search box. Open it, and you will find, like I have already created one process builder. If you have not, you can just go ahead create any process builder that doesn't need, like that isn't necessary to have the same process builder I have, because I just wanted to show you like this is how you can deploy the process builder. I'm running on object. Whenever an account record is created or edited, I set status is sent. I have checked if the account status custom field is changed as a true. Status is sent. Then mark invoices as sent. I'm updating invoice records and picklist value status marking as a sent. That's what I'm doing with process builder. If you wanted to see as an outcome over here for both the process builder and the workflow rule as well. So I'm going to create first. I'm going to show you the process builder demo, and then I will show you the workflow rule demo. 2000. This is first. Let's create a new invoice over here with the status as a draft. I can create any invoice. I can say status as a draft and save it. I'm going to clone the same invoice. Invoice are definitely going to change their status as a draft. So after saving this, I've got 3 invoices with status as a draft and 1 invoice with status as a sent. To make sure that's correct, we will quickly go to the all tab section, and from there we will find this invoices tab. You might already have this invoice tab if you have followed all these tips. And you go to all and find all the records over here. And here in the list view, what you can do is you can just go to the edit section, and after editing under this fields section, you can just add all these fields. And for status, we can just go to the top and then go one. So that's how like we change the very small. We made a very small change on the list view, and we have got over here. This now you can see status is sent for one invoice, and all other invoice it is draft. Now I'm going to account record. I'm sure the status is already sent for this account record. First, I will change this to any other status saying that cancelled. Okay, there is nothing is happening on the cancel change. And then I will change this status to sent, and we will see what happens. We'll get back to our tab and we'll quickly refresh this, and we got this sent. So that we know that this is working fine, and that is very easy. Let's quickly talk about the other thing we have got. We need to create a new opportunity here under same. I will say that udemy.org. This is a new account. Close date is of today. I've got amount something. Let's say that a very simple amount, $100. That's it. New business. Save it. So I have saved my opportunity with $100, and my account revenue should be changed from 2000 to 2100. You can see here. So that is also working fine. So this is very simple. Now what we do is we are going to add our process builder, and we are going to add our flow builder into our chain set. So basically there is a flow builder. What flow builder is doing, I'm going to show you. Let's add this process builder. Follow the same set of rules, same set of instructions that I have seen that we have already followed. And from the drop down, we need to find flow definition. So you will select flow definition, and here you will find both the flow builder and your process builder as well. So you need to make sure that you remember the name of your process builder or flow builder which you want to add, because there might be possibilities you might end up adding some wrong flow. As we need to add both the flows, I'm going to add and open this as well. I'm going to add both the flows into the chain set. The flow is doing basically flow is doing nothing. It is just saying welcome user. That's it. I go ahead and say that run. You will say welcome my name. Whatever the my name is, that's it. It's doing nothing. Very simple flow. So let's see. Let's wait if it is running or it is running the outcome over here. You can see welcome Amit Singh. That's it. There is nothing on the flow. This is what it is doing. Now we have added next steps. We already know that this chain set needs to be deployed. For deploying, we need to upload We'll just go ahead, upload it to the production environment, and we will wait for the success message. So we have got the success message over here. That means our chainset has been deployed. Log into your production environment, and the production environment access you already have. This time we need to validate, and we need to see if there is any error, and if there is any error, how to resolve that. So I'm going to validate. I'm not going to directly deploy because I just wanted to make sure that there is no error. So for the same process for deployment, sorry, for the validation which we already have discussed many times, go to deployment status phase where you will see monitoring. Now you can see it is saying no test is required because again it is a configuration, and we got automation succeeded, validation is succeeded. Okay. So now once we will be we will be done with the deployment, again we just need to make sure that as a part of our basically we can say that as a part of to make sure the process or the components has been deployed, we will quickly go to workflow rules, and we'll search for the workflow rule over here. And here once we go to the continue section, we got these two workflow rules, and then we also need to go to the process builder. So we'll just go to the process builder from the quick search box, and we will see the process builder, whatever the process builder here we have got inside of production. And in case of process builder, we also need to make sure that we are checking if our process builder is active or not. You can see it is inactive. So we just need to go to our process builder, and we need to activate it. There is one setting which we need to, if we enable that setting, it automatically activates the process builder. So that setting is under process automation, I believe. So we just go to process automation settings, saying workflow and approval. Here we will find that setting. Where is that? So there is a setting under this process automation itself which says deploy process and flow as active. That means if we enable that setting, all the process builders or all the flow builders, whatever we are deploying, those will be deployed as an active, and we don't need to worry about activating the process builder and flow builder. There is a document itself. This setting is not available here inside my production environment. But if you see here, there is a document saying deploy process and flow as active. This is the setting under process automation. That is where we are in. So if you see, you can see you are in our process automation. In case of workflow rule, there might be some cases where you are trying to deploy workflow rule email alerts, and you are getting some error saying user does not exist. If you are getting that sort of error, that error is basically you are getting because of the user which is referenced in workflow rule email alert. So if you have a user which is there present inside sandbox, and that user is not present in production environment, then you are definitely going to get the error. In case of this account created, I have referenced one user who is Amit Singh, you can see, but the same user is already present here inside my production. Try it. You can just go ahead and try to create a user if the licenses allows you. And under new user, you can try to add any user under Salesforce license. There might be some license you can just try to add, and you will see if you are able to get that error or not. But that is the error that you can go ahead. So this is it for this video, and thanks for your time. I'll meet you into the next lecture. Thank you.